Hello and welcome hardworking individuals. Today we are going to study about two very important kingdoms, regional kingdoms in India. After the decline of the Mughals, it will be Sikhs and the Mysore Kingdom. So about the Sikh and Guru Gobind Singh, who said, "Chidiya te main baaj ladawa ta Gobind Singh naam kahawa," which basically means that even if you have to stand alone and fight for justice, you should do that. And along with that, we'll read the story of Tipu Sultan and Hyder Ali, whose rockets at that time astonished the Britishers, and it is believed that those rockets were used later on by the Europeans, and it also made at that time Napoleon very afraid of those rockets at that time. So we are going to read about that very Tipu Sultan and that very Guru Gobind Singh. And let's get started with our class. Just getting confirmation that whether I'm live or not. Yes, I think so that I am live. And yes, hello, Shraddha Expense. So let's get started, guys. If you're preparing for TSPSC Group 1, Group 2, or for UPSC CSE, right now we are having the live batches. You can join our live batches by calling on this number. Right now we have 50% discount. And also if you want the PDF of these classes for free, you can join our Telegram channel, and for free you will get the PDF classes. And also if you have any question, any doubt regarding your preparation, you can call us on this number and you can talk to any educator, and it is for free. Okay, so you don't have to worry about whether you'll be asked to paid or not. Okay, so let's get started. Just a minute. Okay, so we have seen till now many other regional kingdoms also. We have already discussed the Awadh, we have already discussed the Bengal kingdom, we have discussed the different other kingdoms, and today we are going to discuss the Sikh kingdom or the Sikh Empire. So the Sikh Empire was formally founded by Maharaja Ranjit Singh, okay, and it was done somewhere around 1801 following the unification of various Sikh miles. What are these Sikh miles? These are the confederacies in Punjab, and the Sikh religious tradition, however, began in the 15th century with Guru Nanak, and the region's resistance culture took shape under later gurus at that time. Okay, now, well, the key rulers when we talk about it will be Guru Gobind Singh. Guru Gobind Singh from 1666 to 1708 transformed the Sikhs into a militarized community that was known as Khalsa. Okay, this is something very important that you should know. And Banda Singh Bahadur, after Guru Gobind Singh, it will be Banda Singh Bahadur led rebellion against the Mughal rule. And then it will be Maharaja Ranjit Singh from 1780 to 1839, united Punjab, established Lahore as capital, expanded the territory to Multan, Kashmir, Peshawar by 1834. Now, let's say a bit about Guru Gobind Singh. Guru Gobind Singh was the 10th and the last human guru of Sikhism, a warrior saint, poet, philosopher, and spiritual leader whose lives and teachings significantly shaped the Sikh community. Well, for the Sikh community, you must remember one thing: they are a great warrior. Okay, you see in Indian Army also a lot of Sikhs there, and they are spiritually very sound also. You see, when if you ever get a time to visit any of the gurudwaras, they really show that they believe in their spirituality, they believe in their religion, and they're very down to earth. Their service is very much renowned. Service towards the religion, service towards the society, service towards the nation. So nonetheless, the creation of Khalsa in 1699, on Baisakhi Day in 1699 at Anandpur Sahib, Guru Gobind Singh created the Khalsa Panth, a community of initiated Sikhs dedicated to upholding the righteousness. Whatever is correct, that should be upheld. And the Panch Pyare, who are the Panch Pyare, still today you can see it, 5 beloved ones who were the first initiated Khalsa Sikhs. Okay. Now there were 5 Ks for this, also known as the Panch Kakar. Okay. For any Khalsa Sikh, this was mandatory. What was this 5 Ks? So first case was for the case. Case means the hair should not be cut. That's why you will see the Sikhs, they don't cut their hairs. Okay. The kada is the steel bracelet that they have in their hand. Then you have the kanga is the wooden comb. Okay, and the kachera is the cotton undergarment, and the kirpan is a small sword that you can see here. So here you can see the kirpan, this is the kachera that you see, this is the kara that they are wearing in the hand, this is the case and the kanga that they are having, and this is what sums up total as the 5 Ks or the Panch Kakar, which was mandatory for the Khalsa Sikhs. Okay. Now, the military leadership, if you see, the fought multiple battles against the Mughals and the Rajput hills. So notable battles were the Battle of Bhangani in 1688, Battle of Anandpur in 1700, Battle of Chamkaur in 1704, where his two elder sons, Ajit Singh and Jujhar Singh, attended martyrdom, and Battle of Muktsar. Now, a martyrdom of his sons and family, his younger son Jorawar Singh and Fateh Singh, aged 9 and 6, were bricked alive by the Mughal governor of Sirhind, Wazir Khan, for refusing to convert to Islam. And his mother, Mata Gujri, also died due to trauma and harsh condition in prison. Okay, that is the sad life story that is also related. When you are a warrior, you have to sometimes sacrifice lot many personal gains. We'll see the legacies of Guru Gobind Singh. He militarized the Sikhism, turned the Sikh community into a spiritual and martial collective ready to resist oppression. We still see that today. The Khalsa tradition continues to guide Sikh identity and the ethics that you can see, and the cultural contributions. A prolific poet and writer, he composed many works in Braj, Persian and Punjabi, including parts of the Dasam Granth. Now this is very important and you should know about it. The next thing is Banda Singh Bahadur. So after Guru Gobind Singh, it is Banda Singh Bahadur. Born as a Rajput in farming family, real name was Lachman Dev. From Lachman Dev, he will turn into an ascetic and he will join the Vaishnava Bairagi sect, and he will take the name of Madho Das Bairagi. Now, here you have certain facts that you should remember. You might be asked in the examination. In 1708, he met Guru Gobind Singh at Nanded, who transformed him spiritually and militarily, and Guru Gobind Singh renamed him to Banda Singh Bahadur, given the mission to punish the Mughals at that time. Okay, so that is how you see Lachman Dev, who turned into Madho Das Bairagi, and then he turned into Banda Singh Bahadur. Now, we'll see his military campaign against the Mughals. So he will march towards Punjab. Banda Singh raised an Khalsa army, and the army composed of the peasants, artisans and the lower caste. And he will have several battles and key achievements. So the first was Battle of Samana, that is in 1709. Banda captured Samana, a major Mughal stronghold, executed corrupt Mughal officials including Sayyid Jalaluddin and others. Okay. Next is the Battle of Sadhura. In the Battle of Sadhaura, defeated local Mughal leaders including Usman Khan, who had committed atrocities against Hindus and the Sikhs. And then we have the Battle of Sirhind, that is in May 1710, most significant victory. Banda Singh defeated Wazir Khan, the governor of Sirhind. Banda became the de facto ruler of much of the eastern Punjab at that time. Okay. Now, the administration and the reforms, if you see, you will see that the land reforms abolished the Jamindari system at that time. Land was redistributed to the tillers, that is to the peasants, which won support from the lower caste at that time. Then Sikh sovereignty was there, that we will see in the Sikh sovereignty. He struck Sikh coins in the names of Guru Gobind Singh and also in Guru Nanak's name. He also had this inscription which meant, with the grace of Guru Nanak and Guru Gobind Singh, victory in charity and arms has been attained. And he established Sikh's capital in the Lohagarh near Yamuna. That became his capital and military base. Next is the Mughal retaliation and the fall in 1715-1716, siege of Gurdas Nangal, that is Mughal Emperor Farrukh Siyar sent a huge force led by Abdul Samad Khan, and Banda Singh was besieged for 8 months and later on he will be captured. And Banda Singh and over 700 Sikhs were taken to Delhi in cages. He was tortured and executed on 9th June 1716 along with his 4-year-old son Ajay Singh. He was forced to watch the slaughter. That was really very emotional. Maharaja Ranjit Singh is the next. Early life and rise to power, became leader of the Sukera Chakya miles. Okay, Sukera Chakya at the age of 12 after his father's death, and he will be the one who will unify all these Sikh miles and he will abolish the Sikh miles altogether. He captured Lahore in 1799 and made it its capital, proclaimed himself as the Maharaja of Punjab in 1801 with the support of Sikh chiefs and the scholars. when we see his the political and military achievements, so he will expand his empire, which will include Punjab, Kashmir, Multan, Peshawar, parts of present-day Pakistan and Afghanistan. His empire stretched from Satluj to Khyber Pass, from Kashmir to Sindh. He formed the most powerful native empire in North India during British India Company's rule. He modernized the army by hiring European officers like Jean-Baptiste Ventura and Jean-Baptiste Allard, and Khalsa army was reorganized on European lines, built a modern artillery division at that time. Administration and governance, if you see, his centralized rule abolished misladari, that is the confederacy system and monarchy, and blending traditional Sikh institutions like the Sarbat Khalsa, that is the General Assembly, with the hereditary monarchy. Secular policies appointed Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians in the top administrative and military services. Revenue system, land revenue, that is Kharaj, was the main state income at that time, and Nanak Sahi and Gobind Sahi coins, that is in gold, silver and coppers, were used with designs reflecting Sikh culture, and the Khalsa army was modernized with the help of European officers, and it also included the artillery and the cavalry at that time. Art and architecture, if we see, rebuilding and embellishment of the Harmandir Sahib, that is the Golden Temple at Amritsar, construction and restoration of major Gurudwaras, that is the Takht Patna Sahib, Hajur Sahib in Nanded, and the distinctive Sikh architectural features, that is the bulbous domes that you can see in this Gurudwaras, the ornate fresco and the decorative motifs were used at that time, that you can see. Okay. The next part is the Anglo-Sikh Wars from 1845 to 1849. First Anglo-Sikh War that happened, that was in 1845-46. Following Maharaja Ranjit Singh's death in 1839, the Sikh Empire descended into political chaos that marked by palace revolution and assassination. By 1845, effective power reset, and with the Khalsa army organized through military committees or the Panch at that time. Next, you see the military campaign. The war began when Sikh forces crossed the Satluj River in December 1845. Despite fierce resistance, the Sikhs were defeated in four major battles, that is the Mudki, Firozpur, Aliwal and the Sobran. And the Treaty of Lahore will happen after the first Anglo-Sikh War. The war concluded with the Treaty of Lahore, which annexed Sikh territories east of Satluj. And between the Satluj and Bias River, Kashmir and Jammu were detached from the Sikh Empire, and the Sikh army was limited to 20,000 infantry and 12,000 cavalry at that time. The second Anglo-Sikh War, which will happen, that renewed the hostilities. The second war erupted following uprising in Multan and Hajra, where the murder of two British officers provided the casus belli. The weakened Sikh state, constrained by the earlier treaty, proved unable to maintain stability at that time. Then you have the final campaigns. In the final campaigns, you see major engagement included battles at Ramnagar in November 1848, Chilianwala, that is in January 1849, and the decisive victory at Gujarat. The Battle of Gujarat was particularly significant as it demonstrated overwhelming British superiority in artillery. And next, we will see the annexation of Punjab. In the annexation of Punjab, we will see, following the victory of Gujarat, Lord Dalhousie annexed the entire Punjab for the East India Company in 1849. Maharaja Dulip Singh was pensioned off to England, and Sir John Lawrence became the first Chief Commissioner of Punjab at that time. Okay, so this is what we see, and this is how you will see that is the end of the Sikh kingdom at that time. And now we are going to talk about the Mysore Kingdom. Mysore Kingdom was one of the feudatories of the Vijayanagar Empire at that time, founded by Yaduraya Wadeyar in 1399's Common Era. Now, he was originally a local chieftain, ruled as a vassal of the Vijayanagar Empire, and he established the capital at Mysore. After the Battle of Talikota and Vijayanagar Empire weakened, and Wadeyars became the independent rulers at that time. Now, rise to sovereignty, if you see, so there were few of these rulers like Raja Wadeyar, considered the founder of independent Mysore Kingdom. He shifted the capital to Srirangpatnam in 1610 after defeating the Vijayanagar governor, performed the Dasara festival in royal tradition. Next is the Kanti Rava Narasa Raja, the one that is he minted gold coins, declared royal sovereignty. And after him, we see Chikka Devaraja Wadeyar. Chikka Devaraja Wadeyar consolidated and centralized the administration and introduced an efficient revenue system, maintained a large army, and also had trade contracts with the European companies like Dutch and Portuguese at that time. So these are the Wadeyars that you can see, the Raja Wadeyar. Then in the middle, you can see Narasa Raja Wadeyar, and then at the last, you see you have the last Wadeyar or the third Wadeyar at that time. Decline of the Wadeyars will happen, and who will rise to the power? Hyder Ali, a military commander under Udayar, will rise to the power and he will become a de facto ruler. And Udayar will remain nominal rulers under Hyder Ali and also later Tipu Sultan. And after Tipu Sultan's death, they will be there again. So Hyder Ali was born around 1720 in Bundikot in Kolar district, a soldier in the Mysorean army under the Wadayars. Due to his military prowess, he rose rapidly through the ranks and became de facto ruler of Mysore around 1761, though Wadayar king remained a figurehead at that time. Okay. Next, we see the administration and governance. If you see his military reforms, one of the very notable thing that you will see, he was inspired by the European method, especially the French, built a modern army with trained infantry and cavalry, and he employed European, mainly French expert to train troops in European techniques. Now, this was very important at that time. He centralized the control over revenue collection, abolished intermediaries, and introduced direct collection from peasants that improved the irrigation and agriculture in the Kaveri basin at that time. And he also formed shifting alliance with the Marathas, Nizam of Hyderabad, and the French to maintain the balance of power at that time. There will be several wars with the British. First Anglo-Mysore war will happen. What was the background? The war originated from British attempts to contain Mysore's growing power under Hyder Ali. The British formed an alliance with the Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad to weaken Mysore, but their betrayal of earlier promises to support Hyder Ali against the Marathas created lasting resentment. Now, Hyder Ali demonstrated superior military strategy by initially achieving significant success capturing Mangalore, Madurai and other strategic locations. However, the war's decisive moment came when both the Nizam and the Marathas betrayed their British alliance and made separate peace agreements with the Mysore. So in March 1769, we'll find that Hyder Ali's forces reached the gates of Madras, forcing the British to negotiate. The war concluded with the Treaty of Madras, which provided for mutual restoration of captured territories and established a defensive alliance between Mysore and the British at that time. Then there will be the Second Anglo-Mysore War. Why Second Anglo-Mysore War started? It started due to the British violation of the Treaty of Madras, particularly the failure to assist Mysore during the Maratha invasion, and also British captured Mahe, a French port under Mysore's protection. Hyder Ali's campaign again will be launched, devastating campaign in the Carnatic, leading 18,000 to 90,000 men in attack that destroyed much of the countryside around British strongholds. His son Tipu Sultan achieved a crushing victory over British forces at Polilur, the worst defeat suffered by the East India Company till date, and Hyder Ali's sudden death in December 1782 marked a turning point in the war. Tipu Sultan continued the conflict but eventually agreed to the Treaty of Mangalore on March 11, 1784. This treaty restored the status quo again and was notable as the last occasion when an Indian power dictated the terms of the company. Okay, now the next, if you see about now Hyder Ali is no more and there is Tipu Sultan. His full name was Sultan Fateh Ali Sahab Tipu, nicknamed Tiger of Mysore, educated in Persian, Arabic and military tactics, participated in actively with his father in military campaigns and took full control after Hyder Ali's death during the Second Anglo-Mysore War. Administration and governance, if you see, his military will be more notable than his father's because he will develop a strong rocket artillery corps, UK, which used effectively in the wars, which influenced later British rocket development, built military manufacturing hubs, that is the foundries, armament and the centers, and divided army into brigades with European organization and command. Administrative and economic reforms, if you see, introduced new calendars based on the Islamic lunar system. Reformed coinage, introduced new gold and silver coins with Persian inscription and changed official weights and measures to improve trade and taxation. Attempted to break aristocratic control at that time. He will also have economic and industrial development like the state control over key industries, sugar, textile, arms, silk, shipbuilding. Promoted the sericulture, that is the silk industry at that time. Mysore became an important silk producing region. And he will also encourage the growth of state factories, that is the karkhanas for self-reliance. Still today you see the sector where the factories are established that provide a lot of job. Okay, so that is something that was done at that time that we can see. And the foreign trade policy was encouraged through by sending trade missions to France, Ottoman Empire, Afghanistan and Arabia. He established trading relationship with France, Italy, Turkey and Mauritius and invited French engineers, craftsmen and military officers to Mysore. His religious policies, if you see, officially he was Islamic ruler but also patronized Hindu temples and priests, gave land grants to several temples like Sringeri Math. However, he has been criticized for post-conversion and religious persecution in areas like Malabar and Kurg. Religious policies were thus a mix of pragmatism and also depending on political context at that time, and the symbol of resistance to British colonial modernized state with European innovations, and controversial figure due to the religious policies and respected by later freedom fighters for his bravery and sacrifices. Next will be the Third Anglo-Mysore War. In the Third War began when Tipu Sultan invaded Travancore, a British ally, in 1789. This action provided the pretext for British intervention supported by the Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad, who were alarmed by Tipu's continued strength. British forces under Lord Cornwallis initially suffered setbacks, with Tipu achieving a significant victory in 1790. However, the combined weight of Triple Alliance eventually overwhelmed Mysore's defense and leading to the siege of Srirangapatnam in 1792. The war concluded with the Treaty of Srirangapatnam, which required Tipu to surrender half of his kingdom to the British and their allies. Additionally, he was forced to pay a substantial war indemnity and also provide his sons as hostages to ensure for the compliance. So this happened in the Third Anglo-Mysore War. And last will the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. The final war was participated by Lord Wellesley's arrival as Governor General in 1798, bringing aggressively the expansionist policies of Wellesley, and Tipu had this confrontation again with the Britishers. The three British armies converged on Mysore in 1799, one of which included a division commanded by Arthur Wellesley, the future Duke of Wellington. The siege of Srirangapatnam began in April 1799, culminating the final assault on May 4. Tipu Sultan died defending his capital, marking the end of Mysore's independence. The British partitioned the kingdom among themselves, and their allies were installing a puppet ruler, Krishna Raj Wodeyar, from the former Wodeyar dynasty under the subsidiary alliance system. So with that, we saw that that was the end of the Mysore kingdom also. Let's see some of the questions and are we able to solve it or not. So the first question here that we see, the Nijamat of Arcot emerged out of Hyderabad state. Okay, the Mysore kingdom emerged out of the Vijayanagar Empire. This is true. The Rohilkhand kingdom was formed out of the territories occupied by the Ahmad Shah Durrani. We have not read about this, but we have read about number 2. So what is the correct answer? 2 only is the correct answer. Next question. By the way, if you want to see the explanation, you can pause the video and see the explanation. And also, if you want the free PDF of these classes, you can join our Telegram channel, and there you will get the free PDF of these classes. And also, if you have any question related to us, so you can ask here for free. When Raja Wodeyar founded the kingdom of Mysore, who was the ruler of the Vijayanagar Empire? Who must have been the ruler of the Vijayanagar Empire at that time? So the correct answer here is Sadasiva. Okay. Next question is to which misdead Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the founder of the Sikh Empire, belonged to? Well, he belonged to the Sukar Chakya. This was what we have already seen. And next question is the capital of the kingdom of Maharaja Ranjit Singh was Lahore. Obviously, we saw that. And the last question here is the rise of Mysore as a regional power was mainly during the period of Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. Yes. Mysore under this ruler adopted modern military innovation. Yes, that's also correct. So both 1 and 2 is correct over here. So with that, we have come to the end of this class, but it can be the beginning for you. If you are preparing for UPSC, TSPSC or APPSC, you can get one-on-one live mentorship by Deepika ma'am. Deepika ma'am, who is having 20 plus years of experience and who has guided hundreds of students into the administrative services. So don't waste any time. Sometimes when you get proper guidance, it tends to shorten your journey and helps you to get into the services quickly. So you can call on the numbers given below. You can like if you really like the class. If you have any comment, please feel free to comment and subscribe so that we meet again. Till then,